All right, everyone, you know what time it is. It's time for the Goof Troop. That can only mean New York Giants Straight Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. Oh, want to talk about Travis Hunter and the New York Giants. Want to talk about the two-way college player. I'm probably one of the few Giant YouTubers that have seen extensively two-way college players. And there is a nuance to them. There is a difficulty about what they do. And you have to give Travis Hunter all the credit in the world for winning the Heisman Trophy, for putting up the huge numbers that he did. But the question is going to be this. Will that translate specifically into the NFL? Now, there's some nuance. I'm not saying Travis Hunter is going to be a bust. I'm not saying that. But I am saying this. I think the fanfare that he is currently getting in reference to being this great two-way player is going to kind of die down a little bit once you get more towards the combine. I feel that he's going to specifically need to change his philosophy and solely focus on one event. And you know what one event is to me? I'll tell you what one event always is to me. That's saving money. How many times have we talked about this on this show? You want to save money. You want to save your bills. You want to sit there and you want to have money for the holidays. But you know what? It's difficult at times. But what if there was a way? We've talked about this before, about sacrificing nothing. Specifically, your lifestyle, your quality of service. Oh, no. You know what we're talking about before this holiday season. It's Mint Mobile. You know I'm intrigued by it. This video is in partnership where they offer a premium wireless service for $15 a month. Get high-speed data, unlimited talk, text on the nation's largest 5G network. You can even bring over your own phone, your current number. That's great. You're sacrificing nothing. Speed, not a sacrifice. Why? We just talked about it. One of the largest, fastest 5G networks around. And the big wireless will tell you, you can't switch. We're going to make it so difficult for you. And you know what Mint says? It's super easy. You know what? I'll tell you why. Because you were going to ask. I was waiting. It was a safe word. It was a dramatic pause. They have digital eSIM cards, which most phones use. You can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your home. If your phone doesn't have an eSIM card, you know what Mint's going to do? They're going to ship you one. They're going to ship you a regular SIM card. How easy is that? So if you want to save a little money without sacrifice, go to mintmobile.com/bigblue. Also, the link is in the description. Get premium wireless service for just $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan. And right now, for new customers, another dramatic pause, Mint Mobile is offering 50% off 12-month unlimited plans. It's the best deal of the year, but only for a limited period of time. So we've said it once, we've said it twice, we've said it a million times. mintmobile.com/bigblue. Go there now. I'll wait. How many times will I tell you I'll wait? You know I love Mint. I have so many Mint Mobile numbers. You want to know why? I have so many different businesses, so many different opportunities. I need different lines. So what was easier? What's got that quality service? What's got that fastest 5G? It's Mint. Lowest $15 a month. Go now, mintmobile.com/bigblue. Travis Hunter rocks in that Heisman. Big year for Colorado. Him and Sanders. Big years. He had a big year offensively, over 1,000 yards. Big year defensively, being one of those top shutdown corners. But you know, this is the interesting thing about being a two-way player, being that jackknife of all trades. You got to go back to Isaiah Simmons a little bit. Isaiah Simmons coming out of college, you didn't know if he was going to be a linebacker, you didn't know if he was going to be a safety, you didn't know if he was going to be a corner. Turned out he was neither. But you had that versatility, you had that flexibility, but it was only on defense. This is a guy that plays both ways.
That's what she said.
And if you take a look at it, you have to go back into history a little bit. And we've talked about this before. I'm not that old, but you go back to Paul Hornung. Paul Hornung in Notre Dame, he played quarterback, running back, fullback, defensive back. Won a Heisman. You go back. You know what's even funny? People don't remember this. Dory Jackson was a two-way player back in USC. Well, I think it was 14 to 16. You know, he was another guy. He was a running back. No, he played wide receiver and corner. He had 1 year senior year at 39 catches, 629 yards, 6 touchdowns. Bronco Nagurski. I was never that old, but again, two-way player, fullback, defensive tackles. Jabril Peppers, the former Giant, was a defensive back, a linebacker, and a running back. His last season, he had a season-high 81 tackles, a sack, and interception, plus another 456 yards rushing. Jim Thorpe, we all know that. Charles Woodson's the name that always comes to mind because he was that two-way Heisman back in 1997. Fourth pick overall in the 98 draft. But he had to make a switch. But he didn't have the proficiency that Travis Hunter has. You got to think about this. You also have Champ Bailey. We all talk about Champ Bailey as well. He would finish 7th in the Heisman because that was back in 95, 96, where they didn't really value the defensive players. He had 52 tackles that year, 3 interceptions, 47 catches for 744 yards, which was a team high, 5 receiving touchdowns. He was one of those guys. And there's a guy that everyone forgets about in reference to being probably one of the best two-way players all around. That's Gordy Lockbaum. Gordy Lockbaum, people don't remember him from Holy Cross, Division II, back in 84 to 88. He was a guy that literally, I think they counted out that one year between offense and defense, there was 2,000-something snaps. He played in like 98% of all the snaps. His 87 senior season, 400 yards rushing, 77 passes, 1,152 yards receiving, 2,041 all-purpose yards plus 22 touchdowns. He played on defense. He played on special teams. He was a lockdown corner. He was a safety. He was everything. He was a New Jersey Sports Writers Association College Player of the Year, finished 5th in the Heisman ballot, and this is Division II Holy Cross. Never really translated, of course, into the pros because he played Division II Holy Cross. But it shows the difficulty of a guy that literally played almost 2,000 snaps a year on both sides of the ball. You can do that in college. Because in college, you know what? We've said this before. You are not playing against the cream of the crop every week. You are playing against a lot of good schools. You are playing against also some schools that are Division II schools. We've said it before. You're playing the likes of Sister Mary of the Poor. So your competition level is always not going to be at the peak. At the NFL, you have the top 800-plus players in the league playing at that point in time, who is specifically designed because it is their profession to go out and stop a person on offense or defense. Now, you take a look at Travis Hunter. He's listed at 6'1", 185 pounds. Now, we've said that before. Is that college 6'1", 185? I want to see what he weighs out at the combine. I want to see what his height is at the combine as well. He's an undersized corner in reference to his weight. Can he? Now, listen, I think he's got all the intangibles to be an all-pro lockdown corner. 100%. A shutdown guy. He can fit in all systems. He could go man to man. He can go to cover. He can go to zone. He's got the speed. I love it. I always said he's got the hip fluidity. He's able to move his hips in the right way to help him run stride for stride with the wide receiver. His tackling. Here's the problem with Travis Hunter in my mind on the tackling. Proficiently, he reminds me of Deion Sanders' tackling ability, which we can kind of figure out why. Because of the fact that he doesn't wrap up, he doesn't have a nose for contact. He kind of does the shoulder tackle. Let me bump you off with the shoulder and see what happens. Now, we've learned from this Giants season, doing that shoulder tackle does not work out extremely well, especially on this level. So he's going to need to learn how to wrap up. But if you're looking for a cover guy that can lock somebody down and really just shut down one side of the field, he's probably the top cover. He's probably the top corner coming out of this draft, but he's also the top wide receiver coming out of this draft, which is amazing because you look at the yards he put up, you look at the numbers he put up, you look at his ability to get open. Now, a lot of it you have to kind of think about. Is it also the fact that he has that simpatico relationship with Mr. Sanders, the quarterback, that Sanders a lot of times just kind of chucks up and sees what Travis Hunter can do? But again, at 6'1", 185, not the largest target. He's more of a Devontae Smith type body frame. Now he's a slender. He's not Gerald the Ice Cube McNeil back from the old Cleveland Brown days, but he does have that slight frame that you worried. Is he going to be? He's not going to be he's going to be a speedster. He's going to be a sideline guy. You're not going to run him a lot in the middle of the field because of the fact of his size. So you have to look at all these nuances in regards to when you draft a player. it's going to be a disservice for Travis Hunter if he doesn't select a position in the NFL. If we don't, he's not going to go both ways in the NFL. It's just not going to happen. They're too strong, they're too big, they're too fast, and they hit like trucks. And you're going to have to tackle players that are going to be, 6 feet 245 or 6 feet 215 or 6'3", 240. So he's going to have to decide which career path he is going to want to take. For all the people that think he's going to be that next two-way player in the NFL, it's just not going to happen because we've seen it through the likes of Champ Bailey, through the likes of Charles Woodson. Hell, Dick Butkus was a two-way player. I guess it was at Illinois. He was linebacker and center. Same with Chuck Bednarik, formerly of the Eagles. He was a linebacker and a center. Those guys didn't play those positions in the pros. They singularly focused on one. Now, when you take a look at him being the top player in the draft, I think talent-wise, yes. But sometimes the most talented players don't go first overall. Because of the fact that, like I said, he's from all his immense abilities, there are some deficiencies. Like I said, I also like to see him have a little bit more concentration with his catches. And I also like to see him bring the ball more into his body and stop catching so much with his hands away from his body. But again, these are nitpicking things. This is a guy that has immense talent. But here's the problem. When you have this much talent, but you don't know exactly where you're going to play or exactly what your best position is, you're giving a disservice to yourself because you are not allowing yourself to singularly focus on something that could literally make you great. So if the Giants, let's say the Giants have the first overall pick, I've already heard rumors that people want to be dissuaded from taking a quarterback because we all know that quarterback's not the most. We all know the quarterback is not the most important position in the NFL. We've seen that over the last couple of years. And go with the likes of Travis Hunter. And the feeling is we're going to pair Travis Hunter with Malik Nabers. Okay, but we also have problems on the other side of the ball at corner. This is where I have a feeling, and this is where I kind of think that in some regards, if the Giants were to go the route of Travis Hunter, there could be bust written all over this pick. Because of the fact that the Giants have an overwhelming amount of deficiencies that the Giants may do something stupid by trying to play this kid on both sides of the ball. And this is a good way to get him hurt. This is a good way to limit his ability on one side of the field because you have a deficiency of wide receiver outside of Malik Nabers. You have a deficiency in the cornerback position because you don't know what Deonte Banks is going to be yet. Drew Phillips, don't even get me fucking started. Adoree Jackson's going to be gone. So we need to think about that for a moment. Because if you don't allow this kid to focus on a position, if you don't allow this kid to have a singular mindset, you're going to do him a disservice because of the fact that he has all this versatility. And at that point in time, like I said, we've seen players come out who have been extremely versatile, who have flamed out. But we've also seen players like Champ Bailey and Charles Woodson who focused on defense that became something special. Same with Dick Butkus, who became something special. So when people are thinking about Travis Hunter, especially for the Giants, and thinking, well, he's going to play both ways. No. That is a good way to take your first overall pick or maybe your second overall pick and send him to the ER, especially in the NFL and especially on a bad team such as the Giants. Physically, does he have the talent not to be a bust? 100%. Attitude-wise, does he have that talent? I think he does. But when you go into a situation that is so porous, like in New York, where you don't have a quarterback, you're in such disarray that everything has gone so horribly wrong over the last 3 years under this new regime, and you bring this in, the temptation of allowing him to play on both sides of the ball could be too great for any head coach coming in, trying to make his name for himself, especially if it's a young guy, and then you are going to do a disservice to Travis Hunter because how long could he potentially play on both sides of the field? He needs to focus on one position and one position only. You may play. Like I said before, I personally am a defensive guy. I put him down as a lockdown corner. I put him down as that CB1. I have him shut down. But again, like I said, I'm worried about his size at that cornerback position. I'm worried about his tackling ability. I'm worried. Those things are a little concerning. Same thing at the wide receiver position. You put him on the outside. You're not going to put him in the slot. Because, again, he doesn't have that build, and you are going to hope that he has the fortitude and has the ability to maintain his body, that he is not going to wreck himself week in and week out, and then at the end of the day, flame out and be, again, a wasted Giants first overall pick. There's a lot to unpack with that. Me, I'm going with Cam Ward. I've said it before. If I have the first overall pick or second overall pick, I'm taking Cam. I'm taking Cam the man. That's just me. Not going to be upset if they take Travis Hunter. I will be upset if they take Travis Hunter and they don't find a quarterback in this draft because, like I said, it's a little hard to play in the NFL when you don't have a quarterback. But you know what, guys? We still got a couple games to go this season, and we got a little ways to go, as always. So we just have to have our fingers crossed, I guess. You hope and I'll hurry. You try and I'll plan. We'll do what's necessary because even a miracle needs a hand. And this is Tim. This is New York Giants Straight Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I'm out of here.